Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you at, what time, whatever time it may be. Some of you are sure catching this live, but others are probably catching the replay. I'm seeing a lot of more people see the replay than actually see the live, which is cool. Don't have a problem with it as long as you get the information. Once again, my name is Norris Williams, norrisnetwork.com. I'm an investor and motivator, and I help people to make more money. And that doesn't matter if you want to be a multi billionaire or if you just want to make an extra $500 to $1,000 a month. One is not better than the other. They're both the same, especially in the spiritual realm. So, and what I specifically teach are the spiritual steps on how to do that, because it's truly a spiritual journey. And I believe that wealth is a two-part equation. It's mindset plus mechanics. It's mindset plus mechanics. So we focus 80% on mindset, 20% on mechanics. I do teach some of the mechanics part of it, of course. By mechanics, I mean, for those people who haven't listened to me before, by mechanics, I mean, you see so much stuff out there about how to invest in real estate, how to invest in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, annuities, all the financial vehicles of how to, retire well off and become wealthy, things of that nature, how to invest in apartments, commercial real estate. There's so many different things to invest in that it's hard to really find your home, but there is an entire mindset that goes behind it. So I focus a whole lot on the mindset, and mostly on the mindset, but also on some of the mechanics also. So I'll wait a little while for some more people to come in and invest a like, invest a share, invest a comment as we grow in the community. We have a lot of fun doing it. Actually, I'm doing these videos every day this entire year because I really want to give you something to look to and to reflect upon on each day. And, they say the journey of a million miles starts with one step, but we get lost in the steps sometimes. We get caught in the minutia, as they would say, of day-to-day life, and forget the long-term goal and forget the destination, because on any given day we all have bad days. All of it. I have bad days. Everybody has bad days, and a lot of those bad days, when they come upon us, a lot of time we just give up, and we can't hold on for the future destination, and we arrive at an alternate destination where we're not happy with that destination, and then we have a sense of regret. So one of my goals is try to prevent you from having a sense of regret and stick to it for the long term. We're playing the long game here, which everybody should be. Everybody's not, but everybody should be. And I know you got to survive. I know you got to eat. I know you got to feed your family, things of that nature. But there's also another parts of you that yearns for fulfillment, that yearns to do something that you're extremely passionate about. Yearns to do something that makes you feel big on the inside. And it's not just, doing stuff for charity and feeding the homeless. That's fine. There are other projects that people like to do and want to look at, but they can't do it because they say they don't have the time, they don't have the money, they don't have the connections. All that stuff is a spiritual journey. So on this path that we're going on now, it's just every day to give you a little bit of seed to keep going forward. Just keep pushing forward, because only you can decide your destination. I can't decide it. Your mama can't decide it. Your daddy can't decide it. Your teacher, your pastor, your mentor, your coach can't decide the destination for you. You have to decide the destination on your own. Now, there are people who can help you along the way, but the destination is up to you. And the secret to the whole thing is you already know what the destination is of where you would really like to arrive. Now, a lot of us settle for destinations that are way below where we would like to be, but we justify it. That's just the way it is. It wasn't meant for me. That's just for those lucky people over there. That's just for them. They're the special people, and I'm not. All that stuff is a lie. All that stuff is a lie. So today I want to talk about something that happened to me, but right at about 20 years ago. And it goes to don't forget who you are. That's why I put it on the screen. I lived in Houston about 22 years now. There's a place called Garden Ridge. I don't even think Garden Ridge is still a business. I think they went out of business and went bankrupt. But it's a place, for those who don't know, it's a place that you could buy all kinds of furniture, accessories, little neat stuff for your house or whatever. So I had my first little bachelor pad. I wanted to make it look nice. So everybody's like, man, go to Garden Ridge. You can get some nice stuff for a little bit of nothing. So I made my way to Garden Ridge. It was actually out in Sugar Land at the time. The one I went to was out in Sugar Land. They were all over Houston, but the one I went to was in Sugar Land. And they weren't lying. There was a whole lot of nice, really neat stuff in there for fair prices. It wasn't over the top. It wasn't like a Cantoni or something like that who's, you'll pay $30,000 for a couch that looks like it's made out of plastic. So it wasn't stuff like that. So I was finding all kind of neat stuff. And what happened, I noticed there was a group of mid to older ladies that were walking around the store. and they were dressed in really nice garb, really nice African attire. Like it was like shiny and real clean, and they had jewelry on, and they had real long, pretty hair. And I kept noticing every section of the store I was in, they happened to be in. Now these ladies was like, the youngest one was probably 55, and the oldest one was probably maybe mid 70s, maybe early 80s. So I go to the kitchen section, and they would find themselves in the kitchen section. Okay. So I go to the living room furniture section, look around, then the living room section. Now, they would never let me catch them actually looking directly at them. So when I looked their way, they would kind of, like they were browsing or whatever. So go to another section, it was 4 of them. The same ladies showed up again. So I'm like, okay. If it's a group of older ladies, you don't really feel like they're like going to do something to you. I just thought it was odd that everywhere I go, they showed up. So finally, I was getting close to the front, and they approached me. So I'm like, okay. So one of them walks to me, and she grabs my arm, not hard, not forcefully anything, but she was like, we just noticed that you look like the men from our country. So, I'm a country boy. Yes, ma'am. And all that kind of stuff. I was like, yes, ma'am. What is your country? And she said, we're from Ethiopia. And you look like the men from our country. And so as she was talking to me, the rest of them started gathering around me. So I got like these 4 older ladies just standing around me. And like while she's talking to me, the other 3 are like whispering. I don't know if it was prayers or affirmations. It didn't feel like anything, out of the ordinary. It was more like uplifting. So they were like whispering and chanting and praying or whatever they were doing. And like, she was holding my arm. And then the other one came and like, she grabbed me by my wrist, and, it wasn't hard, but it was like, she was doing like this. And as she was praying, she was doing like, so I'm sitting there like, and I know the people in the store were like, okay. So I'm sitting there like, and I didn't want to be, they're little old ladies. So I mean, what do I say? Old lady, get off of me. But it didn't feel bad. It didn't feel intimidating. It didn't feel like they were up to anything sinister. As a matter of fact, it was kind of relaxing. And so I sat there, and, as I was chatting with the lady, and, she was like, you're a great man. You're going to do great things. And so they're like, tapping on my shoulder, and one of them put her hand on my head. And it was an amazing, it was like surreal, because we're in the middle of Garden Ridge, and these ladies are they're doing something holy. It had to be, because that's how it felt. It was like a surreal moment. It didn't feel like they were trying to do anything to me. And I'm like, okay. So I'm just kind of standing there, me and the lady are chatting, she's like, where are you from? And that kind of stuff. She's going back and forth, and, you're going to do great things. You're going to be wonderful. Now, the other ladies never said anything directly to me. It was just, I guess, the lead lady or whatever was doing all the talking. She's like, you're a great man, and I see greatness on you, and you emanate this and this. I'm sitting there like, whoa. So, like now, two of the ladies were behind me, and they were like touching my back, and they were all just like in a soft, like little murmur, just whispering and praying and affirming. At least I thought that's what they were doing. So they, I'm still carrying on, conversation with the main lady or whatever. She's like, you're going to go on and you're going to do great things or whatever. So they're like, we're going to go now and all this kind of stuff. And she said, don't ever forget who you are. Don't ever forget who you are. She looked me dead in the face and said that. And she walked off, and they just kind of floated away. And I just thought about this morning. I thought about that incident this morning. I hadn't thought about it really since. It really struck me the way they approached me and the way she said it. Older women have a certain tenderness and gentleness about them that kind of puts you at ease and lets you know kind of like everything is going to be okay. Now, I don't know whatever happened to those ladies. I never saw them again, but I always cherish that experience because I'm just in there randomly, or so I thought. And they just really just spoke life into me in the middle of Garden Ridge. And it's like they were at the 4 corners of my body. And I'm standing there, and they're doing and like when I left and I was sitting out there in my truck, I got kind of emotional because I'm like, at that point I was still trying to figure out life and what I was doing and where I was going and things of that nature. But that just did something different to me. And I'm glad that memory came back to me, because it was more than anything, it was comforting for them to do that. And, everybody knows me, I have immense respect for elderly and old people, because I feel like they have a lot of wisdom to give. And a lot of times we as young people, we don't really pay attention to them like we should. So I'm not sure if those ladies are still alive or not. Wherever they are, maybe, I just want to send out a sense of gratitude to them, because that was one of the first experiences I had to where it raised my confidence, because it was like the creator saying, hey, everything gonna be good. Just keep going, keep pushing. It's gonna get rough, but keep going and keep pushing. And you may have experienced something like that in your life too. But and I've had a few of them, but that was like one of the first ones with someone that I didn't know at all, like totally out of the, well, I'm not even gonna say it was out of the blue, but it really blew me away. And that was reaffirming to me when I thought about this morning, because when you're an entrepreneur and you're out there making it happen, a lot of times it's just you. Even if you have a team, even if you have people that you've hired to help you to take forth your mission, it still starts with you. The energy that exudes throughout your whole company starts with you. Now they add on to what you're doing, but it's still the backbone of the whole thing is you. And a lot of times that's a lot of pressure. A lot of times you don't feel it. I know some days I'm like, man, look, I can just go over here and, do something regular or do something normal. But every time I do that, it just comes back to me that I was sent here to do something great. I agreed to come here to do something great. So I say all that to say to you, there is a divine reason that you're here. That there's something greater for you than what you're doing right now. There's an assignment that's sitting over here on the sideline waiting for you to accomplish. And everything that's over there is the tools and everything necessary for you to achieve everything. And the life that you want is over there, is waiting for you. But you have to step into it. It's not coming to you. You have to go get it. You have to step to it. Now, I don't mean just go all out and dang near kill yourself trying to accomplish it, because when you're aligned, when things are aligned, I mean, think about when we all have to get front end alignments on our cars. And why is that? Because our car runs smoother. Now, when your truck is out of line, you're gonna feel like, or you're gonna feel the vibrating in the steering wheel, or you're gonna feel like boom, 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 boom when your steering wheel's out of line. Your purpose is the same way. When you're in alignment with your purpose, everything flows smoothly. Now, that doesn't mean nothing doesn't happen to come against you, because it does. What it does mean, when it does come against you, it's smoother. You can say, okay, cool, this is what happened. Boom, here's a solution to that. When you're out of line, you stop and you struggle and you pivot. And most times we just quit. Bye, we quit. I'm done. I can't take it. That happens so many times. So many of us are in a 100-yard race of life. So many of us quit at the 80-yard line. I'm using football at the 80-yard marker. So many of us quit and exit the race and go run somebody else's race. I guarantee you right now, you're running somebody else's race. I can guarantee you 95% of you on here right now are running somebody else's race. Instead of being in lane 3, you're in lane 2. And you're wondering why you're frustrated. You're wondering why you can't get anything done. And you wonder why on the inside, you're not really that happy. Now you dress it up, the unhappiness up, and you make it look good, and you posture and you say what a great life you're living. But when you get home on the inside, when you lay down with you and you know good and well, you're like, I deserve better than this. I deserve more than this. I want more than this. So I'm encouraging you today to get in a line, because the time is going to come where time might run out. And we don't want to get to that point. We want to get ahead of that thing to make sure that we can align and just be smooth sailing to your destiny. We didn't come here to be average. How did Jay-Z say it? I'd rather live enormous than live dormant. Same principle. I'd rather live enormous than live dormant. I'd rather risk getting it all and miss getting it all than to settle out. How did Les Brown say it? The problem is not that people aim too high. Hold on, I'll get here in a second. It's not that people aim too high and hit. No, it's not that people aim too high and don't hit. It's people aim too low and do hit. You can look that up. He said something to that effect. And I'm like, whoa, a lot of us do aim low. And we land low and we celebrate being less than, like it's something to brag about. And like I said before, and I've said several times, and I will say it several times again, the reason why we'll stay at a lesser position in life is because the people around us are settling also. So settling becomes your normal. And you brag about it, and yeah, I'm going through it, and yeah, but you can't dispute the fact that on the inside, you just feel totally unfulfilled. So today's going to be a short one. I just want to remind you, and for you to look inside and say, hey, I got to remember who I am. We all came here for a mission. We all have certain gifts, skills, and abilities that nobody else has in the combination that you have them, in the area that you have them. And especially now with the internet, that's why I call the internet the great equalizer. You can do anything you want to do right now. You don't have to, right now. You don't have to start tomorrow. You can start small right now. They say the journey of a million miles starts with one step. So I want to encourage you today to take that one step, whatever it may be. It may be sitting back just researching on how can I make some extra money online? How can I take my gifts and abilities to do something different with my life? You got to want different. Now, if you don't want different, if you're good where you are, I invite you not to come back. If that's who you are, I'm fine. I'm sorry if that, no, well, I'm not sorry. If that hurts your feelings, fine. Go. I'd rather you go somewhere else because this is for the go-getters. This is the people who want to do something bigger than where they are. This is specifically for them. And for those of you who don't want that, I invite you to go somewhere else because there's somebody who will coddle you. We don't coddle over here. So once again, my name is Norris Williams, investor and motivator, NorrisNetwork.com. Just wanted to come to you today with a short message. Do not forget who you are, because in the journey of life, you are the question and you are the answer.